All right, good morning, all. So, I'm out for a ride because it finally stopped raining, and I spent the evening yesterday looking into the Suchir Balaji case, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Thought I'd get home and one second, scary part of the road. Okay. Thought I'd get home and write about it, but this is a good time as any to talk about the details. So, quick background, but yeah, before that, I really think this is something everyone should talk about and look into because it's one of those things where the only way that we can help the people involved and help the family is to keep bringing it up and ask for accountability from those that are supposed to investigate the matter. And I know that there are so many things happening every day, and we may be in the brink of world war, world war, but it's really sad that the last information or discussion on this happened months ago, and people have already forgotten and moved on. Also, in the US, I know people may not be comfortable talking about it because the matter may be sub judice, but that shouldn't stop people from the rest of the world to at least discuss things like this. Anyway, the background to the story is that Suchir Balaji was a 26-year-old boy with Indian American parents who lived in Florida, excelled in programming contests, interned in Quora or worked at Quora. I'll have to verify that, and worked in ChatGPT. He graduated from UC Berkeley with a computer science degree. In 2018, he joined OpenAI and worked on Web GPT and organized data sets for GPT-4. But in August 2024, he left OpenAI over ethical concerns about how OpenAI uses copyrighted data. In October 2024, Suchir published a detailed essay analyzing the 4 factors of US fair use. He spoke about how there was a systematic copying of copyrighted material, text, and code without proper licensing, which likely violates copyright laws. I should have a document about fair use or a post on it and copyright, at least in the Indian context, somewhere in my LinkedIn or on the website. But for Suchir, his concerns were over how OpenAI was using copyrighted material and how it would financially impact the owners of the data or the content, who were ideally artists and authors and designers and creators. His research showed about a 12% drop in Stack Overflow's traffic and checks valuation. The losses were due to ChatGPT. Now, as a lawyer, I want to clarify that the legal discussion on fair use, along with the contractual relationships and licensing agreements that OpenAI has with its publishers, has to be looked into separately. And I'm sure that people working on those matters, or people who believe that their rights were infringed upon by OpenAI, will take that up with their lawyers. Personally, I don't think a company like OpenAI that services customers around the world would not have lawyers who would ensure that they don't squarely break such laws. Because for things like this, the fallout would be massive. But Suchir was young and maybe he did find something compelling, who knows. Anyway, getting back to this case. So Suchir had gone out with his friends on a camping trip. Just give me a second, I'm getting a call. I'll cut this out. 1 second. Yeah, sorry. So Suchir went out with his friends on a camping trip and came back the day of his birthday. He goes back to his apartment and he speaks to his parents on the phone, and he's had a good birthday with his friends, so it's a good time for him. In the evening, he's getting ready for bed. He has his AirPods on, goes into the bathroom, takes out his brush, and then gets attacked from the back. Someone hits his head hard and his AirPods go flying and he falls to the floor. He gets dragged out of the bathroom into his bedroom and then gets beaten up. After which he's on his knees and he gets shot in the forehead. His parents don't hear from him for about 2 days, after which they started looking for him. On the 26th of November, 5 days after his birthday, he was found dead after his parents were allowed to knock down his door and enter. He was found dead from a single self-inflicted gunshot wound in his locked apartment, and police found no immediate signs of a forced entry. In February this year, it was concluded that the death was a suicide based on brainstem shot and the toxicology reports, which showed signs of alcohol and a few other things, but no foul play was indicated. Now, the parents hired a private investigator, and they stated concerns about the lack of a suicide note, the fact that the CCTV was off, and there were clear signs of struggle in the room. The bullet casing was missing, or there were 2 casings instead of the one, or something like that. The one bullet was lodged inside his neck, and it all gets a little confusing, but you'll have to look into the details. But there was also a part of a wig that was found on the floor that didn't belong to Suchir, and the blood spatter was absolutely inconsistent with suicide. Plus, the angle of the shot to the temple was not consistent with how it should have been if it was self-inflicted or if it was a suicide. Now, by all accounts, this guy was a smart guy. He was a national champion, a top programmer of 2016. He worked as a software engineer at Quora at a very young age and was hired with what I read was about $25,000 as a signing bonus, and then an amazing pay to go with it. Then he joined UC Berkeley and had gone to China with his friends and with his team, and he had won a $100,000 competition. And in that competition, he had showcased a passenger screening algorithm, which the TSA apparently is using till this day. I don't know why he's not letting me pass. Let me go. You can see me, but he's not going to let me pass. Anyway, he's written papers on quantum computing. This guy is not looking at me. Okay. So he's written papers on quantum computing that showed a very high level of intelligence for his age. And his sudden death is definitely a huge loss to the world. But the reason I want this to come back up as a topic of discussion is because there are multiple aspects to this matter. Now, the allegations that he was a whistleblower against OpenAI and its practice of breaching copyright laws and data privacy, and that could be a reason as to why he was killed, or he could have actually committed suicide for a number of personal reasons, or he could have been coerced to kill himself for a number of reasons. I mean, everyone has problems, and we can never know what's going on in someone's life. Or maybe someone did have an altercation with him that night in his apartment who he knew. Hence, there was no apparent signs of forced entry, and that altercation ended up with him dying and has nothing to do with ChatGPT or OpenAI at all. But again, the reason that this needs to be investigated and closed is because there are allegations against OpenAI here, and OpenAI is becoming one of the biggest organizations in the world. Companies and individuals are making a conscious decision to use products from OpenAI for their businesses and in their lives, and these are organizations involved in healthcare, education, banking, manufacturing, and the outcome of this case could really have an impact on millions of people. So I'm sure people who are working on the case continue to do so, and these things do take time. But in the meantime, people should go back and check up on this case and not let it become just a trending story from December last year, because the impact could be on all of us once all of it comes out. But yeah, those were the intrusive thoughts for this morning ride. I don't know if I ruined my ride by thinking about this and just talking out loud about this, or I ruined your morning or evening or whenever you're watching this. But yes, an extremely interesting case, and I do want people to go back and not let it become just another story that happened in late 2024, and by the end of this year just forget all about it. So keep looking it up, keep bringing it up. Even Elon Musk and a lot of high profile people have apparently commented on it. So it has impact, and we should not forget this story very soon until it's all out in the open. So yeah, have a good day, you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.